Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of LEGO Jurassic World. This time, we're finally gonna be finishing up... Oh, it's San Diego. Did I say San Diego last time? Yeah, I did say San Diego. San Lorenzo. San Diego, San Lorenzo. What other sands can I think of? Undertale? Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be finishing up Lost World Jurassic Park right now. We're gonna be finishing up.
15 years ago, John Hammond had a dream. Well, half an hour from now, John Hammond's dream, reimagined, will come true. Tonight we'll christen Jurassic Park San Diego with a mega attract.
The ship, it's here.
It's early.
Oh my word, did you see that? What am I saying? Of course I saw that.
But yeah, so San Francisco, there you go. I don't know why. I'm still thinking about, I was thinking about multiple sands while I was making that, or while that cutscene was going on. I'm surprised San Francisco never actually popped up. Anyway.
Can you help that reporter? He's trapped.
So yeah, we're gonna be finishing up the Lost World Jurassic Park.
I have to file this. That's it. Keep pulling. I'm free.
But yeah.
This is gonna give me a Pulitzer.
But yeah, you know, actually, in the last episode, I was talking about impulse buys, and I'm making this episode immediately after that episode. I'm gonna detail out a couple more impulse buys. The Switch was seriously bad. At least with the Xbox, like, okay, the Xbox One had impulse buys, but they weren't horrific. There were some games that, like, yeah, I feel like I was dumb for buying, like Goat Simulator, but most of the games weren't too bad. The Switch... The Switch is where the crappiest of crap lied. I bought so much terrible stuff off of the Switch eShop because it was only like $1. There was a game called, what it was like? It was like a helicopter game called like, something Strike. Like Persevere Strike or Persuasive Strike or something. It was like a game where you play as a Preemptive Strike. That's it. It's a game where you play as a helicopter, and it's again one of the most worst designed games I've ever seen. So, think of a top-down airplane shooter, like Truxton, for example, the best top-down shooter. Okay. Have your vehicle fill up 90% of the screen and have the bullets be smaller than attack. And that is the entire game. So it is extremely hard to avoid anything because one, you can't see it, and two, your vehicle is so huge. Like, it's so terribly designed.
There may be crew down there.
Yeah, so I bought a lot of crap on Switch. None of it, you know, most of it being... Like I said, there were some times where I was actually, you know, the mold was broken. There's a game called 3D... The 3D... No, 3D Mini Golf is an Xbox game. Pocket Mini Golf. And it's actually not too bad. It's a fun little, you know... It's just a kind of fun game when you're bored. Just kind of, you know, boot it up, play it for 5 minutes, and then stop. I think it was an iPhone game beforehand, which makes a lot of sense, actually. You know, not all of them were horrible, but yeah, a lot of them were. One that was really disappointing for me was Saboteur, which going into it, I'm like, isn't this a ZX Spectrum game? And it was. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. ZX Spectrum is a console that I'll never get to play. And it's not like an emulator. I mean, I can't find an emulator for a ZX Spectrum. I mean, it's a console that never even released in the US. Maybe it did, but it had probably if it did, it had a very short lifespan. But no, there you go. So, you know, I was like, oh, cool, Saboteur, okay. You know, even if it's not that great, it's still a ZX Spectrum game. The coolness factor of it being a ZX Spectrum game is worth it, you know. So I popped it in, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And yes, it is the ZX Spectrum game, but they have realistic noises. Like, they updated the noises, and I'm like, no, you've ruined it. If you add in, like, a backing soundtrack that doesn't sound like a ZX Spectrum game, and you add in, like, realistic, like, knife slashes and realistic, you know, dog howls, then it's like, that ruins the appeal. It's a... the appeal is that it's a ZX Spectrum game. I mean, yeah, there's a way to turn off the sound effects, but then you're just playing in silence. It's like... there's no way to swap it back to like ZX Spectrum mode. There's no way to swap it to like it looking and sounding the exact same. So like, yeah, it isn't bad. It was just really disappointing. I mean, the game's still kind of neat to play though. I just play it with the sound off. The same kind of issue happened with a game on the Wii called Impossible Mission. And, you know, that was a you know, revitalized version of a, I think, like, Commodore 64 ZX Spectrum game. And it was pretty cool, but, you know, they added in, like, new sound effects that kind of lose the appeal. And while it was cool, they added in new graphics. And while it was cool that yes, they, you know, they added in a, you know, in Impossible Mission, they had, like, a remake mode, and then they had, you know, a classic mode. And that classic mode was cool because it got you to play the original game, but again, just like with Saboteur, the sound effects were not changed, and there was no way to change them. I don't understand
where the crew got to.
And I'm like, that just... why would you want to play it that way? It's more fun when it sounds more authentic to the original hardware.
Oh, sure, drop the
But, you know, whatever. That was $1. That one was $1, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, you know, some impulse buys I actually do enjoy. I think I bought Farius, I think. Which is a game where you play as the bad guy. I didn't play a lot of it, but I enjoyed what I played. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers was an impulse buy when I first bought it. I barely knew... Well, no. I knew what the game was, I just didn't see gameplay of it. Before Battle Crashers came out, I was really excited for it because I thought it was going to be Punch Time Explosion 2. Because that's what I wanted. Ever since Punch Time Explosion, I'm like, what if they made a sequel to the game, but have newer characters? You know, like regular show characters and Steven Universe characters. So going into it, that's what I was expecting. So I knew that it came out. You know, I knew that it came out, and I saw a little bit of gameplay for it, but then I never really looked into it. So I mean, well. In that case, I don't really know if you could call that an impulse buy or not, because I technically knew a little bit about the game beforehand. So, you know, like, yeah, I'm not going to count that. Oh, what was there? It was another, The World Next Door, I think is what it was called. That was an impulse buy, and that one wasn't too bad either. That one actually wasn't too bad. In terms of Steam, surprisingly, I don't impulse buy on Steam. Which is really surprising because whenever I hear people talk about impulse buying, normally Steam is the place they talk about. Because Steam, there's tons of crap, and like there's constantly sales or something where like tons of things are $1 or even less. The only game I really impulse bought on Steam was Slap City, which ended up being great, and I love Slap City. Then again, I did watch a Donkey video on it beforehand, so I guess a game I've never seen before, Monster Prom. That would be a game I've never heard of before. I never saw a single second of gameplay on Monster Prom. I just saw the art, I saw what it looked like, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Monster Farm looks nice. That was one. Oh, Emily is Away. That was one, but that one was a free game, so I wouldn't really call that an impulse buy, perhaps. I mean, you know, again, it was free, so I don't know what that would be classified as. It was an impulse get, but it wasn't an impulse purchase. But
So close. Just.
but yeah, so
Whoa! Don't fall.
No, get away from that!
you know, it's funny. Still to this day, I guess it's been a while since I last watched The Lost World. But why did they open the T-Rex paddock? Why did they open it? like here, he just pushes it, and it's like.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
See, now that's how you make a good reference. That's, you know, going back to what was it called? I already forgot. Oh yeah, Indie Calypse. Going back to Indie Calypse, that's how you make a good reference. You know, it actually fits in with the storyline, and
We've got to get it back
it's not too blatant.
Where's the infant?
It's in a secure facility. Why?
Where's the facility?
Yeah, it's like.
How will we find the adults?
Follow the screams.
Yeah, in Indie Calypse, it's just like the references were are really blatant. I think that's why I found it really annoying. It was just like, hey, we're referencing something. There's the TT ball, which you know, that in itself, I think, is a reference to Indiana Jones. And I mean, I don't mean just, you know, the ball itself, but what I mean by that is, I think it was like LEGO Indiana Jones 1 or 2, probably 2, I think, had the TT logo on a boulder, and it was, you know, chasing somebody. I think it was LEGO Indiana Jones 2 had that. So, I mean, that could possibly be a reference to LEGO Indiana Jones, but, I mean, then again, that's kind of a stretch. But then again, that's also a Steven Spielberg movie, so maybe. What is Steven Spielberg? Yeah, because Lucasfilm, you know, published it. Steven Spielberg directed it. I think. Oh crap! You know, I could be totally wrong. I could be completely wrong. You know what? I could be completely wrong. Don't quote me on that. I could be entirely wrong. You know what? I'll look it up after this video. I could be completely wrong about Steven Spielberg directing it. I thought, like, well, see, because now I'm second guessing myself. For a little bit, I thought that Steven Spielberg directed it, and then Lucasfilm just kind of had the rights to it and like helped make it a thing. But I could be completely wrong about that. I could be really completely wrong about that. And now that's kind of getting me annoyed now, because now I'll look it up after this video. Do not correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because, you know, I will look it up right after this video gets done recording.
This guy's almost fully awake. You know where you're going?
Yeah, the waterfront's right on the other side of the...
And we are just about done with this level. Yep, it's right here.
Here we go. Ready?
Where's the wreck? Is it still behind us?
Dr. Malcolm! What have you done with it? I want that infant! Oh, there you are. Wait!
It's like, well, yeah, what do you expect to happen? But yeah, so that is it for The Lost World. Again, these last couple of stages have been really short. That one was only 15 minutes. And then what do you have chasing us for this ending?
These creatures require our absence to survive, not our help. And if we could only step aside and trust in nature, life will find a way.
That's really interesting because this cutscene never was in the 3DS version, and I kind of forget it being in this version. I completely forgot this cutscene was even in the game. Huh. Okay. And it's a T-Rex chasing this thing. In Jurassic Park 3, we will not be playing as a T-Rex at the end. Okay. Yeah, we'll be playing as the new dinosaur for that movie. Whatever that new dinosaur was called. When feeding a baby dinosaur, hold your hand flat and don't tease. Even herbivores can bite. Cool, thanks. I'll remember that for when I want to feed a dinosaur. Okay, so in the next episode, we will go on to Jurassic Park 3. So, see you then.